Okay, so in this video, we're going to be continuing the review of the test with two-step equations. So our first equation here that we have is this one. Now, it has the variable on the right side, but that's okay. There's no rule that the variable needs to be on the left side. And the first question is, what would you do to get rid, to solve for x in this equation? Now, a lot of people will go straight to the 14 because it's on the left, but you don't deal with the 14. You want to work on the side where the variable is, this side, right? And then you have to go in reverse order of operations. So the first thing you have to do is adding or subtracting. So there is a negative 10 here that I have to get rid of. And the opposite of negative 10 is plus 10. So I'm going to be looking for adding 10 as my answer. And so I'm going to go and add a 10 to both sides. And if I add 10 to both sides, right, I get 24 equals, the 10s cancel out, equals 4x. All right, so and now notice, by the way, I did it to both sides. Why do I have to do it to both sides? Why not just the left? That's just like, that's that idea, right? And that takes me to question 11. Justify what your answer above is because whatever you do, you have to do to both sides of the equation. Otherwise, you break the balance of the equation, and the equation is no longer true, right? But so long as you do the same thing, if you add to both sides, subtract to both sides, multiply to both sides, or divide to both sides, if whatever you do to both sides, you don't change the veracity of the equation. And that's how you can still solve it, but you don't change it. And that's how it works. I'm not going to write the whole justification I just said out here, but that's kind of what you would do. Well, the next step now, right? So we have a 4x equals 24. I got to get rid of that 4. So the next thing you need to do is divide both sides by 4 to do so. If you divide both sides by 4, the 4s will cancel out, and 24 divided by 4 equals 6. So we have our answer, x equals 6. So then the second step, the good second step, was dividing by 4, which was this, and then our final solution was 6. So that is your first problem on the review and all its subparts. The next one would be giving the following equation. What would you do to solve it first? So again, you have to go in reverse order of operation. So I got to get rid of this 4 right here. And that 4 is adding. So I have to subtract 4 from both sides, right? Then we also have to say, what would be a good second step to solve it? Well, let's actually do it and see what would happen. If I subtract 4 from both sides, right, then the 4s will cancel out, and I end up with negative 6y equals 36. Now, if I have to get rid of that negative 6 next, and it's multiplying my y, so I have to divide by negative 6, not by 6, by negative 6, because you have to do it to both sides, and it wouldn't get rid of this. It's a negative 6 I'm getting rid of. So not dividing by 6, but dividing by negative 6. All right, and when you do that, the negative 6's cancel out, and all you have left is y equals 36 divided by negative 6 is negative 6, because negative divided by positive divided by negative is negative, and 36 divided by 6 is 6. So we have our answer would be negative 6. There's an extra question here, which is what would you do to make sure you are right? Well, you have to plug it in back to the original expression to see if you would actually be true. And you can do this by doing 4 minus 6 times negative 6, which is my answer. And is that going to be equal to 40? Well, we copy down the rest. We do 4 minus 6 times negative 6 is negative 36. And let's see if that's equal to 40. We have to slash and slash. 4 plus 36 is 40. So 40 equals 40. We have the right answer. So for the test, you can answer that by checking in to make sure you are right. We'll continue this on the next video with a few more equations for us to solve.